to help to have a real conversation with real men about real concerns that men may have and what they may be struggling with. Today, as usual, I'm joined by who I like to call my spiritual advisor, Pastor Martin Camp. So as we go forward now, before we go any further, we will ask Pastor Camp just open us in a word of prayer, and we can dive right into what it is that we need to do for tonight. Pastor Camp.
Good evening, everybody. Let's just bow for a moment. Our Father in heaven, thank you so much for another opportunity that you've given us, that we're able to come into this space, Lord, and to just have the conversation. Thank you, Lord, that whatever it is that we may say, whatever the conversation may be, whatever the topic of discussion, that you would be glorified. But in addition to you being glorified, Lord, we pray that the audience, that those who are listening in, those that are tuning in, wherever they are, that they would be blessed, that they would be encouraged and motivated, and that we would all be better because of this time that we spent here this afternoon. So we honor and bless you for it, and we trust you to hear us and to answer us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Camp. Thank you, and thank you to you, our loyal viewers who has been with us for over the last few months. We're so grateful to have a platform like this. I mean, sometimes it becomes a little discouraging as being a human being, but when I feel that when you are called to do something of any nature, when you're called to do something, you will find yourself have to be able to encourage yourself and find this extra fuel to push yourself towards what needs to happen. So for our first time viewers, I want to explain to you, because right now in this particular show, I know we didn't have a show in the month of August, and I know some of you have asked me what happened to the show. You would see me on the street, you would see me going over to Harbor Island where I work. You will ask me what happened to the show. You didn't have any this month. No, we took the month of August off to do a little revamping and to relaunch, to do a little relaunch. So we have been working behind the scenes to try to make a man's value better, and we've made steps in that direction. For the first time viewers, I want to tell you what a man's value is all about. A man's value is a faith-based platform dedicated to creating an open and an honest conversation about real issues men may face. It exists to help men uncover hidden strengths, reaffirm their God-given worth, and activate the gifts and the values that often lie dormant on the inside of them. So, in essence, a man's value. This show is one leg of what is going to take place, Pastor Camp. This show is not man's value in its completion. This show is a part of what I believe that the Lord has placed on me to do, and you're going to see in the upcoming months, and as we continue to go on, you're going to hear me mention our upcoming conference that is coming up in the month of November. So we're all about real conversations. We're all about real conversations. As you might listen to Pastor Camp and I from time to time, and you might hear us talk about things, and it may be a little humorous sometimes. But one of the greatest things I believe that you can testify is about something that you have been through yourself. I don't believe in reading a book and testifying about or bringing someone else's testimony to light and say, boy, he went through that. I like to share my own story, because you can see me anytime. You can call me anytime. A lot of you know me personally, and you can say, Garfield, you said something on the show the other night. What do you mean about that? So a man's value, it is about real conversations, open, judgmental free. We're not about judging anybody, because I tell people, man, listen to me. If you've been through something, whatever you think about, I may have done it twice. I may have done it twice, and people laugh. So this is a judgmental-free discussion about issues men struggle with, especially relationships, families, finances, fatherhood, emotional health, This is to reassuring men and reminding men that their value is not lost, but it can be rediscovered and reactivated. So what I believe now is that many of our men has been deactivated. We have been deactivated. The king in us has been deactivated to be mere pagans, subjects. We believe that okay, we got to come in under, because society has us, our minds so suppressed that, you know, they saying if you don't cry, you're not in touch with emotion, or if you cry, you're showing too much femininity or whatever like that. So it has a mind mix up. But I want to say to you men out there, and a lot of you have seen me, and you have encouraged me. I had a gentleman, Pastor Camp, came to come to me the other day, the store on the side of where my house is, and he said to me, out of the blue, he said, boy, God, boy, listen to me, boy, God really blessing you, boy. And he said, that tone, and this is a guy that, you know, obviously the tone of voice when he's talking, and that sounded like something was mixed in that.
Wow.
You know, he said, man, you know, I can see you change and all that type of stuff, you know what I mean?
Wow.
I had people come up to me and say, man, listen to me, you know, I don't do them things no more, you know, and I don't ask them anything. Just the mere presence of the lifestyle and what God has probably done in my life, it says to me, I have to say something to say that he's also doing it in my life as well, Pastor Camp. Yeah. So tonight, what we want to discuss? We want to discuss, because we want to discuss our upcoming conference that is scheduled for November. The tentative dates are the 14th, Pastor Camp, and the 15th, where we will have a gathering of men on the 14th at GKM. At GKM, that's the tentative date, and have our safe space lock-in discussion, panel discussion, where we're looking to have some lively discussions on Saturday morning. Now, the discussions on Saturday morning, Pastor Camp, might not be the usual set of panelists that you may be looking at. So the gentlemen might not have on a coat suit. They might not, you know, they may talk a little different. But
so have you decided on the panelists here?
I've started already.
Okay.
I have started already. But I know the flavor I want.
Okay.
I know the flavor I want, because I believe, in all honesty, Pastor Camp, I don't want to bring in a set of panelists that is so much, I don't know what word I want to look for, but like, it suggests that I can't come to that. Okay. That ain't for me. I want a set of panelists that ain't scared to talk about their struggles and tell them, listen, I've fallen down a few times, and show the scars, and I heard you talk about this, and sometimes when you teach us, and I got back up, and this is how I did it. This is how I did it. You know, and be honest with it, and be open with it.
So that would be more for the Saturday.
For the Saturday morning thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a guy coming down also from Governor's Harbor coming in to share his testimony. Okay. So we're looking to have a good time. Like I say, the tentative dates, I say this again, the tentative dates are the 14th and the 15th of November. That's month after next, 2025. I want to get it. I don't want to fool with the month of December. But okay. Yeah. I don't want to touch that. How you feel about it? How that sound?
I think it'll be a wonderful thing to get, you know, really get the word out, and at least afford men the opportunity to
absolutely
to have the experience, to have the encounter. Now, of course, one truth is some of us are just at different points in the journey. There are some people who are already comfortable sharing their story. There are others who may not have evolved to that point as yet. And then there are others who have made a conscious decision that they won't share their testimony like that. And that they would want to give the persona as though I got it all together and all that. And so it's up to us now to present our faith and to present Christ in a very real, number one, in a very real way, and then secondly, in a very practical way.
Yeah.
So that people can see. Because, you know, a few times when we were done with with this conversation, I left and I'm like, boy, wouldn't it be nice to know not just okay, that we've been in a certain place. For example, I've shared my story on several occasions,
Yes.
and I don't run away from that. I had my seasons. I won't say season. My seasons.
That's plural.
Yeah, for falling down, getting up, all that type of stuff. But I'm hoping that the opportunity would come at some point to really be able to share with men, with people in general, men and women. Look, these are some of the steps that I had to take in order to get back up. Because sometimes, we share that, okay, this is where I was. Then we say, okay, this is where I am now. But for a lot of people, it's like, now how were you able to get from that point to this point?
Right.
Not that I want to do it exactly your way, but what were some of the principles?
Yes, some principles don't ever
strategies,
change. Yeah, principles
the
don't change.
strategies
Yeah.
that you were able to employ to get you to that point, and so I'm hoping that in these kinds of settings that you speak of on the Saturday the 15th, tentatively of course, that persons can come in, they can be in a safe space, feel that they're in a safe space, know that you're in a safe space, you can ask questions, you can share, and let's see how we can best kind of help each other to get better at being the best version of ourselves.
Yes, right. So, Pastor Kim, a few months ago, we talked about, I think it's in Bible study, because it kind of tie in, because you were started saying about the journey and how some people might not want to share the journey or what they've been through and all that type of stuff. I believe that God allows us to go through these things, of course, for ourselves first. But if we survive it, if we survive it. Okay, before we get on the show, you asked me about a good friend of mine from Matchet Bay.
Yes.
Yeah. Brother Cladwell Farrington. He may be watching tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. He survived something.
Yes.
How would it have been if he survived that and shut his mouth?
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with that?
And what he's done is he has made, if we're speaking about the same surviving,
yes,
with the boating.
The boating, yes, the Defense Force
with
issue.
HMBS Flamingo.
That's what his name.
He has actually made sure that people don't forget what it is that they went through.
Yeah, I like it for that.
He makes sure of that. We attended the last service that he had.
Yes, we did.
To make sure that each year at that time of year, that people pause to remember that this is what happened and this is the journey that I'm on. Because you can imagine, as a young man at his age, I think the incident happened just before Mother's Day. At his age, having to go through that and then seeing your colleagues, lose their lives and that type of stuff. And the journey that he must have been on, having to battle with that and having to survive that. It'll be a wonderful thing to just sit down and, not so much to hear the story of, that the ship, was attacked and all that stuff. But now how do you get from the point of all those emotions
my mind was on
that's bottled up?
That had to been a lot.
At that time,
had to been a lot.
To where you keep going. It's like, how do you, and I watched a movie the other day ago that talked about running in the rain.
I heard you say that.
And then on Sunday, I was so blessed by Elder Charlene's message, running in the storm. Like, how do you continue basically moving forward, whether it's from a spiritual perspective, whether it's from just everyday living? How do you continue moving forward when you, to use one of our local, when you got so much on your plate, when you're dealing with so much, when the truth is the first thought in the morning is not necessarily a happy one, and then through the night to hear people speak of that journey, and I would want to hear men talk about that journey of how do you get from having so much to deal with and wanting to give up and not feeling like going on, and everything in you knows that you should keep going, but it's like you're not firing on cylinders like you used to, and everybody expects you to keep going, no matter what you deal with. And a lot of times, because some of our females are so expressive and so open and sometimes sharing what it is that they have walked through, a lot of times they kind of get up and talk about it. But I think I heard you say it before, so many of our men, they suffer silently.
Silently, man.
They suffer silently, and it's like, where do we find that place to really share what's going on, to seek counsel, to seek advice? And I know that persons know that there are spaces available and there are individuals that are available to talk to, but I don't think they're going to do it unless, you know, they feel comfortable doing that. Like when I go through stuff, you know, I gotta have people in my circle that I'm able to kind of talk to about whatever it is I may be dealing with. And so a lot of our men have been struggling. They deal with grief. You know, you've lost your dad.
Yeah.
Totally, even though he was not well leading up to that time, we didn't know that he was not well to the point where he would transition at that time. And so we weren't expecting to get the news that he passed. Now you got to deal with that. Meanwhile, you still got to preach this gospel.
Yeah.
You still got to, at that point you were planning your wedding.
Yeah.
You still got to keep
a few weeks in between, man. I mean, weeks in between.
You know, so it's like, how do you keep going?
Yeah.
How do you run in the ring?
So that's a good. Thank you so much, Pastor Camp. So when you was talking just now, and I had. That's why I wrote something down. And I said, why did you survive?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Why did the thing that you went through?
Yeah.
Why didn't it take you out?
Yeah.
And because it didn't take you out now, you taking the initiative to say, I ain't gonna share this with nobody. Because if they going through it, they gotta figure it out for themselves. Pastor Camp, I kid you not, and I always, well, you know me better than most people. I've been through so much situations, and I don't mind sharing it.
Yeah.
The other day, the guys talking on the boat, and I'm an open book, and this is why I say that if you want a stiff, religious Christian looking guy, don't call for me. If you want a guy that don't laugh in his sermons, when he preaching, don't call for me.
Yeah.
Because I really believe the joy. If I have joy of the Lord, you're gonna see that transcending on my face.
Yes.
That's gonna come on my face. So the guy said, some guys come on our ferry, and sometime in the morning, Pastor Camp, and the kids, you know, they smell like the dope field.
Yeah.
They smell like the ganja farmer, like this on ganja farmer.
Indeed.
So the boat driver said, I wonder where there's Garfield and you at. So I said to them, no man, I used to smoke something stronger than that.
Yeah.
And then when the guy said, what you smoke? I said, I used to smoke coke, man. You know? And everybody like, why did you say that?
Yeah.
I am not that type of person. I am very humorous. I could be serious when I'm ready, but I am very humorous about my past. Yeah. Because life has its own challenges, and it's serious. It was serious to me, but I survived it.
We are layered. I believe we are layered, and what some people may not realize is that beneath the suits, beneath the tie, beneath the collar, beneath all of that type stuff, is that individual, and that individual is either, as you said the other week ago, is either dealing with some stuff now,
just come out of it,
dealt with some stuff recently, or is about to have to deal with some stuff.
I'm telling you, that's
and so when you come upon people, and in the context of this, you know, conversation, man, when you come upon them, the truth is, you never know what it is that they're dealing with. Some of them are dealing with family issues. We have another one of our ministers, of course, who is dealing with the fact that his father just recently transitioned.
Yes.
You got one father. So it's not as if you could get practice with this.
I understand.
You don't get, okay, it's happened before to me.
Yeah, so
I know how to handle it
like
now.
it's scripted. There's a manual for
exactly.
it. There's no manual, man.
No.
There's
and so he's having to, he and his family is having to deal with that. They didn't expect him to go so quickly and all that. And yet, he got to keep going. Yeah. So he's got to make the preparation for the
That's the hardest thing right there, boy.
He got to dig the grave. He got to do all of that type stuff. He got to plan the service. He got to make sure that you know, the preparations are made for the repast and the memorials, all of that type stuff. Meanwhile, anybody who comes upon him that doesn't know what he is dealing with and may see him and he ain't whatever could very easily draw conclusions.
Right in that moment right there.
Exactly.
In that same moment.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because of the way that you are in the moment.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we're dealing with issues every day. We're
Right.
dealing with having to take care of our families. Some of us got children we got to send to school daily. I know.
Yes.
I often joke that most of my classmates have grandchildren, and I still have a 13-year-old. But we got to find lunch money for them every day. I got to give my son lunch money even if I don't have any left for me and my wife.
Powerful.
I got to make, as a man, I got to make sure that, as a parent on the whole, I got to make sure that happens. I got to make sure that he gets his uniform and that he's got all of his supplies and he's taken care of. We got to keep a roof above his head. We got to make sure, do our part to keep the light bill on. You got to negotiate with BPL every now and then to make sure, keep the light on and, water and sewage, keep the water. And it's like so many dynamics that are going on. And in the middle of that, you still have to step out now and put on your, what we call our vestments. And when people see us in our vestments, they are clueless as to what's going on.
Boy, I tell you.
Beyond the color, beyond the robe, beyond the smile. And I'm speaking of that from, a pastoral perspective, but there are persons in our communities and in our circles, the truth is that they go through stuff every day, and when people see them, we're not Superman to see beyond that. We just see what's right there. You have a story, you have stories, I have stories. People have their stories, and all of us gotta now. I'm grateful for. I'm just excited about it. I'm grateful that opportunity will come where men can get together like that. I'm grateful for conversations like these where we can, we could do this. We could overcome the things that try to weigh us down, and we could overcome the things that try to interfere with our journey and interfere with our walk and our commitment, even to God, even to ministry, sometimes our commitment to family and all that. There are some things that try to interfere with that, and nonetheless we keep running in the rain in unfavorable conditions. We keep on running. We keep on.
We got a little bang up sometime, Pastor Camp. we got a little bang up sometime. A few months ago, my wife said to me, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. So I know it's hard to be a man. In all of my journey in my life, I never had the person that was with me say something like that to me. Pastor Camp, sometimes when I come home, I just have to take a minute and say, let me, because I am an alert high and my voice is high, and so I come home. So if you ask me a question, the minute I reach home, you
may get the wrong.
I may still be in that high alert. So a man's value is all about helping. There are gonna be initiatives going forth. There are gonna be small grill and chill. Even if it got to be by and this is not a political thing. Believe me, this is not a part of the political journey. I want to make that clear. My producer, can you put that on the screen? It's clear. This is not a part of that. Listen, I believe that this weight of this platform has fallen on me based upon what God has allowed me to go through, Pastor Kemp. And now I want to, in every effort that I can do, make sure that if you got to go through it, know that you said it, keep moving. Keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. This is why I believe that and you know about boats a little bit, growing up in Curran Island. A boat stay in one spot for a long time, catch a lot of moss. You keep that boat moving, it will get some moss on it, some of the growth on it, but it'll be less than stay in one spot.
Definitely.
So keep it moving. There's a guy in Harbour Island that I think he's a landscaper, and he was so blessed by it. When we first started this, man, and he came on, he said to me, Brother God, let's be going through some things. And nobody knows. And
That's
And I
suffering in
watched your show.
silence,
Hey,
that's
and
silent
we
suffering.
watched your show one time. You watched your show one time. You say, man, keep it up and give me a little encouragement. I don't need to say, honestly, it'd be great if 4,000 or 5,000 people begin to watch. It'd be great. But that little one or two, Pastor Camp,
Yeah.
say, listen, I watched the show.
Yeah.
And the other couple of weeks ago, a lady came to me and said, and something that you said.
Yes. Yes.
And it caught her attention. And she said, I saw in the shop this evening.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you're watching, hello. So she was blessed by it because of what you said about like the widows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it's all about helping. And even if we said a word of encouragement, the word of encouragement might not only be for the male, it may be for the female.
Yes.
It might be for that. But this is a platform about helping men. It'll be about real conversations. So what we're trying to do here, is revealing the hidden value in the man. And you're going to find out that our conferences is going to be geared towards reactivating a deactivated king.
Wow.
And I believe our theme is going to be deduced from that. Not in those same words
Right,
exactly. But you understand? We try to reactivate.
My colleague Nice DeVoe would say, "I'm excited."
Yes,
I
I don't know where she is tonight. Oh my gracious, I don't know where she is tonight.
I want to be a part. I want to, experience it. I want to experience it. We haven't had much of this type stuff happening in our area. A lot of what we do, as we know, and it's no fault to the ladies, but each year. You can have 10, 15 women's conferences between here and Governor's Harbor, but very seldom do you get a men's conference.
Yeah.
I think last year we connected with Ebenezer and Baptist. We had a very good conversation.
Yeah, we did.
And the Saturday morning was really good, and so I was truly blessed by that. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm excited to see this kind of forum where men can come together, be free. Feel comfortable,
right.
Ask their questions. Some men have been dealing with, marital issues, relationship issues and whatnot. Some deal with relationship challenges with children, with friends, all of that stuff. And so in those kind of forums, it's kind of good to have those questions asked. And one of the things that it did for me was it also helped me to know that, boy, whatever it is that you're dealing with in the moment, chances are you're not the only one. And I think the sharing of the story, as we spoke about earlier, the sharing of our testimonies, and even the sharing of what it is that we're going through, it helps others to see that this is. Look, you may be dealing with this alone right now, but you're not the only one that's dealing with something like this. Maybe there are persons that you may be able to connect with that can help you to get through this moment and all this. So it's a good thing. It's something to look forward to, and I'm looking forward to the other initiatives that will be a part of a man's value. I'm excited myself. I know Mr. Michael McDonald, who I think is your supervisor, your boss.
He's my biggest client.
Yes, he is. He has also, kind of proposed.
He's a good guy, man.
Proposed that we kind of, as men, get together. At least I think it's once a month, to just hang out. And we haven't had that kind of thing in a while. And so we're supposed to actually get together on, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, we're supposed to get together on the 9th of October, Lord willing, to just sit down, have some refreshments, talk, chit-chat, and all that.
How far did this invitation reach?
This invitation is extended to men, to just come together and feel free to be in a space. None of the whole getting it. The thing is, not everybody is at the same level of maturity, of course. But in those kinds of settings, we would hope that persons who would come would at least be at the maturity level to speak. To one at a time, respect what other people have to say.
I know what you mean.
So on and so forth. Because then, if that's what's going to happen, then you're creating, you're not helping to create the kind of environment that's needed. For me, and like I shared in our Bible study time on Wednesday, my peace of mind is very important.
Yeah, I heard you say
And
that.
I
like
refuse
that
to
myself.
put myself in a position where my peace is at stake. I need to have my peace of mind.
Yeah.
I got a lot that I deal with on a daily basis between work, my family, home and family life, ministry, all that stuff. I got a lot to deal with, so I need my peace of mind. And so I'm on this journey now, with the help of my wife, of course, to kind of take better care of myself. And that's not just in terms of my physical attributes. That's in terms of my emotional health, my physical health, my concept of myself,
Right.
and all that type thing. Believing in myself, not saying negative words.
Yeah, you're discouraging
not
yourself
being
first.
Exactly,
Yeah,
not being
yeah,
doubtful
yeah,
about
yeah,
who you
yeah.
are and all that. Like really embracing your identity and realize that the Lord kind of know why he made you the way that he did.
Your
Why exactly.
Yeah,
So to
man.
go back to, the question that you asked earlier, like why? Why be preserved? Why did he preserve you?
Yeah, why?
And I believe I'm no, I believe I'm no better than anybody else. I'm no more. I don't believe I'm blessed above others and all that. But what I do believe is that God probably put me in the earth for a purpose, and He's giving me opportunities to fulfill that purpose. Have I always walked out that purpose? No, I haven't walked that in a straight line. But I believe that even amidst the errors that I made, because I tell my children all the time, you don't have a lot of mistakes. You don't have to make a lot of mistakes to end up wherever. You just need to make one that's big enough.
That's right.
And it could really send your life
Yeah.
on a completely different
Yes.
trajectory, on a
Yes.
completely different path. And so I believe that in spite of the challenges that I've had in my life, that's led me to make certain decisions that were not the best, that probably wouldn't have given me the desired outcomes and all that, wasn't in my best interest, that despite all that, God hasn't given up on me.
I like that.
And he keeps, for some reason, he keeps like, yea, though I walk through the valleys of despair, of depression, of unfaithfulness, of self-doubt, of low self-perception, yea, though I walk through those valleys, yet he keeps me. He preserves me. And I believe it's so that I can do what it is that he placed me here to do. Have I confidently, beyond a shadow of a doubt, just engage it? Not as yet. But I'm trying to walk out that which I do know. I don't know it all. I'm trying to walk out the parts that he has already revealed to me. That, okay, this is what I want you to do.
Pastor Cam, thank you. I believe, and I totally believe this. Thank you for your insight on that. I totally believe that every part of your journey serves a purpose.
Yeah.
Every part of your journey. So don't despise.
If we allow it to.
Yes.
If we allow it to.
I like that. Yes.
Yes.
You have to put that in there.
If we allow
yeah,
it
if you
to.
allow it to.
Yes.
Yeah, because sometimes we ask the question why, and why and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not regretting going through what I went through.
Yeah.
Because to you out there, I believe what the Lord allowed me to go through and what I've been survived for, it made me into the person that I am today. I am kind of a strong guy. Mentally, I've been through a lot of storms in my head. I've been through a lot of storms in my heart. I've been through a lot of storms where Pastor Cam, like I say this, that the closest people to me turned their back on me, on the side of me.
Yeah.
And it damaged me. And it was a lasting damage.
Yeah.
You know those lasting damage?
Yeah.
That they cause cracks and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So I went into a relationship with my now wife. And I still had the cracks.
Yeah.
I still had the cracks, so I had to warn her of the cracks.
And they could affect.
I had to warn
if we're
about
not
it.
careful,
Yes.
the things from our previous
Yes,
seasons
man.
can affect us in terms of how we embrace the new season
now.
that we're stepping into.
Now, yes.
And so that's why it's important for men and women to pursue, because we say we pursue after God. I get that. Of course, he ain't running from us and all that, you know. We say we pursuing after him, but he's not running. We just got to embrace what he has released.
Right.
But we need to pursue our healing.
Right.
We need to go after that with everything that we have, so that when certain opportunities are presented to us, which may be the opportunity for a new relationship,
Yes.
as it was in
Yes.
your case,
In my case.
that we don't destroy what it is that God is trying to bring to our lives because we haven't been healed from the pain of the previous season or previous seasons. Because the truth is, if it's still there, when we open our mouth, we're going to speak from that place.
I
of
tell you
pain.
that because it's in your subconscious.
Exactly. When we function, as we behave
there.
ourselves, we're going to behave from that place
Yeah.
of pain.
Yeah.
Because we
That's dangerous.
haven't sought the healing.
That is very
And so
dangerous.
I always say to people, look, you got to make sure that the people that surround you are not just yes people. You got to make sure that some people are holding you accountable
Absolutely.
for the things you do, the things that you say. So somebody could say to you, Garfield, come on.
Yeah. You better than that.
Yeah, you bigger than that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I had a friend of mine who used to say, Martin, come on, come up higher. You gotta come up higher than that.
Yeah, come
that
up
my wife sometimes said that don't look good on you.
Yeah.
No, because that's not you.
So you went down.
Yeah, I've been low. I've been low in my thinking.
Yeah.
I've been low sometimes in the way that I interact with people, based on the scars that I've carried. Now, I would not sit here today and say, well, chances are I haven't caused scars. I haven't inflicted scars.
Yeah. Okay.
I never want to pretend to just be the
receiver.
victim.
Yeah. Right.
Because the truth is, I've heard someone say before, in each of us is the capacity to be both the victim and the villain. And so
have that capacity.
I own those moments where I've been the villain. But in the times when I've had to deal with the scars inflicted on me emotionally, mentally, all of that type stuff, look here, I had to get healing. I had to get therapy.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I had to like really find counsel among my colleagues, ministerial colleagues. I had persons that I connected with even outside of the Bahamas that kind of helped me to walk through some dark seasons of my life and helped me to get back on track so that I'm able to kind of interact with people who caused me pain a little bit different now. And so the Lord has really had me on that journey because, you know, growing up is like there's certain things that happen in our lives that if we're not careful, they will walk with us throughout the remainder of our every step you take, they will be there. At some point in our journey, we've got to turn to the little boy, or in the case of our female counterparts, to the little girl, and let them know you have gone far enough with me.
That's enough of that.
It's time now.
You could do it.
You could go. I got this.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the hurt, and I'm using child, the hurt child in us wants to dominate a space that they've not been invited to. Pastor Kemp was invited in that space, not the little boy.
A little immature boy.
You see what I'm saying? The 50-plus-year-old has been invited there.
Yeah, but
the little boy don't know how to handle this.
Yeah, but he wants to
show up. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the child. In the context of, like you said, marriage relationship, there may be scars that some of us may have received in the context of marriage. It's unfortunate, but the truth is some marriages just don't work. And there's a need for a new beginning.
Yeah.
If we don't take the time to be healed from those wounds, I don't care what woman it is or what man it is, that tries to enter our lives, there's a strong possibility they will receive some blows that were intended for someone from our previous season.
You have to be, Pastor Campbell, you have to be very, and I guess what you're saying in essence, you have to be very careful. When you speak from, you might speak from too deep.
Exactly.
You know, you're
Yeah,
reaching down
it's-
too deep, and even the
yeah.
tone is like, where did it come from?
And
Like,
sometimes they don't mean,
what,
people
like,
don't mean it.
no,
Sometimes people
no,
really don't mean anything,
nothing,
you know.
But
But
where you
whatever
speaking
they
from,
said, it kind of touched that wound.
Yeah.
And next thing you know,
Yeah,
it's
you-
like
you-
I'm in defense. And men and women struggle with this. But a lot of men in particular go through that stuff. And it's like, go ahead.
So what are you saying? What are you saying to? Because I understand what the Bible talks about. The Bible talks about the man as being the head of the home, as Christ is the head of the church, etc., etc. So if the head of anything is not doing well,
Right.
what happens to that thing, that entity, that house? Because the Bible says, and I believe in it, and I hope that a lot of us, you know, there are persons that not professing Christianity, not professing any religious religion, and they believe in that principle that look here, the man is the head of the house. I'm going to let him lead, and where I can help, I can help. But the man is not 100% doing well. The man is not doing well mentally. The man is not doing well in many areas of his life. But still, you expect everything to turn out to 100 when he himself is not 100. He's only running on a good 65. Right. But you expect 100% from him all the time. There's a lot, and I believe this is why I read something the other day that men die a little quicker than women.
And I've been hearing that I've been hearing that a lot. In fact, one of my friends the other day said to me, he said, that's why you always hear he is survived by his wife. So there is this
Yes.
thought. Of course, I do believe that sometimes there are things like this that's spoken. And my wife tried to explain this to me in relation to another situation. And she said, there are sometimes when things are planted in our psyche, and we don't realize that it's being planted there. And because it's a seed kind of gives, once you water that seed and all that and take care of it, once it's a reproducible, productive seed, it's going to try to take root and kind of dominate the space.
So you're saying that concept is a seed?
That concept is a seed that is designed to get some of us as men thinking. For example, I was having a conversation today with a man, and he was talking about the instructions that he had given his wife regarding when he died.
Okay.
He never said that his wife gave him instructions. He just spoke of the instructions that he gave her. Meaning, somewhere in his mind,
He's going first.
He's going first.
He's going first. Boy, I tell you that.
Because somewhere that seed has been planted, that women outlive men. That not many of us men outlive our wives. In fact, when my mom died before my dad, someone said to me, boy, he's one of the few.
So you see the seed. You see the type of
He's
fruit.
one of the few.
Yeah.
And so, in my own mind, is like, no, I got to fight this. Like, if so be the case, then so be it. But I'm not going to walk around life thinking I'm going before my wife.
Listen to me. Listen. I write. Listen to me, Pastor Camp. I write in that.
Yeah.
My dad passed.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah.
I write in that, and I get to see. I get to see my mother's face every day.
Yeah.
Every blessed day.
But daddy
ain't there.
already gone.
Already gone. So sometimes you look back at a scene and say,
Yeah.
Look at you, Troy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, has it been any scientific studies? Has it been any concrete?
Listen, the study that I've had is me when my father passed. And those who are familiar with the story of my father passed, and my father was very athletic. My father, you've been on
I've been on walks
when my dad would walk, and he's keeping up with everybody else. He's 70 plus years old and just doing it. And my father died within I'd say 3-week period. So daddy went from walking 4 to 5 miles a day to not being able to walk at all. We had to move his legs before he passed. That's how quickly he died.
Yes.
Now here's where this stuff begins to get in your psyche. And I'm not, we're having the conversation.
We're having the conversation.
Here's where it gets in your psyche. I walk regularly. Whenever I go to the doctor and all that type of stuff, they normally say to me, I'm pretty fit, and I do my HbA1c and that type of stuff. And my doctor said to me earlier this year, he said, you are doing well. These are good numbers. He asked me how long I've been keeping up this, this regimen of going walking regularly and all that. And when I said to him, I've been doing it now for the past 14 years, regularly like that. I used to do it off and on before then, but for the past 14 years, I've been more consistent and doing it on a regular basis, all that type of stuff. Here's the thing that plays in your mind. But Daddy walked.
I know he's going there. I know he's going there.
Daddy walked regularly. And so I had those conversations with my wife after my father died. And she kept saying to me, Martin, your father's story does not have to be your story.
No, that ain't your story. Yeah.
But if I let that seep into my psyche and my subconscious, then that would try to overtake my thought.
Because you have
see?
a way, our minds have a way of watering and nurturing something that it ain't really necessarily
and
good.
If you don't water it for a while, if that seed is still there, our adversary knows how to put people in your path.
Yeah, to throw a little water
to let them say things.
Yeah.
And before you realize it, it's all, some people say stuff to you and you don't realize what they said until they're gone.
Yes.
And you don't realize the impact they've had, that what they said had on you until it begins to manifest itself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've had to stop people before, because sometimes people talk about women, and if a man is behaving himself a certain way, sometimes people use this statement. Persons use this statement: "You're behaving like a woman." And I've had to, you're carrying on like a woman. I've had to stop people before, and I've had to say to them, don't you dare insult my wife that way. Don't insult my mom that way. Don't insult my sisters that way. He's not behaving like a woman, he's behaving like a man. That's what he is, he's a man. Now, what he is behaving like is he's behaving like an immature man.
But not a female.
Exactly.
But not a female.
He's behaving like an unhealed man. He's behaving like an unevolved man. He's behaving like a man who refuses to address the darkness within his soul. That's what he's behaving like, not like a woman. To get back to your thing about the man being head of the home, the truth is, the way that the word puts it is that the man is head of the wife, as Christ is head of the church. It doesn't necessarily say the home, it says the man is head of the wife, as Christ is head of the church. And so a lot of people speak about it from the point of, well, the woman needs to submit to the man and that kind of thing. But the scripture doesn't just stop there, mind you. And I want to help us all as men. The scripture doesn't just stop there. It says the man is head of the wife as Christ is head of the church. And then it goes on to talk about how Christ loved the church and all that type of stuff.
Gave
himself,
yes.
which means then that no man has the right to expect submission from a wife if you don't love your wife
and take care.
The way
Christ loved the church.
Christ loved the
church.
It's
right there.
It's there.
It's right there. No, it's right there.
In plain
no, it's
sight.
right there. It's right
so
there.
our wives may sometimes behave a certain way, and all that. But the truth is, love is all of these wonderful things, as the Apostle Paul talks about. Again, in the context of our faith. So love is patient. Love is kind. Love is forgiving. You see what I'm saying? Love is understanding. Love is going the extra mile. All of these different things, is what love does. So when I say to Garfield that I love Garfield, because someone said it to me before, they told me that they love me, and I know they wasn't expecting it, but I had to ask them.
Why?
I asked them. No, I had to ask them a question, and my question to them was, "What does that mean?"
Okay.
For you to love me, what can I depend on you for?
Yeah, okay.
What are your expressions of love to my life? And I want us as men to begin to kind of realize when you say you love, whether it's wife, children, whatever, love is a verb, it's a doing word.
Action, yeah.
So we got to now put that into practice. What does it mean for Martin to say he loves Shannon? What does it mean
What
for
actions
Martin?
happen? Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
After the word, the action need to
Exactly.
follow.
After you say the word,
The actions need to follow.
what comes next.
Yeah.
And sometimes, the truth be told, because all of us are human beings and live in these earthen vessels
Vessel, right.
and all that.
Absolutely.
We have our stuff that we got to deal with. Some of us are more mature in certain areas than others. And so sometimes even the best of brother-sister relationship, the best of husband-wife relationship, the best of brother-brother relationship, all of those kinds of things, the best of them have challenges sometimes. And so now we got to love through it. That's how we finish, you know. That's how we run in the rain. And I mentioned it in our Bible study on Wednesday. We got to take care of the important things in our lives.
Yeah, and I remember you
take
having
care of the important
I
stuff.
remember you having a listing of stuff, and I asked you questions about if they're in sequence of importance.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So we're looking to do our best. We want to push all that we have towards helping men pass the camp. We don't necessarily, and I don't want a song like I have lost my way or anything like that. But I believe sometimes some religious leaders can come off a little scary.
I may be one of them. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'll find out.
To some,
I'll find out.
To some,
I'll find out.
Because remember now, there's some people who embrace what it is that you have to offer, and then some people again isn't. So
I don't want.
But
that.
I'm trying.
I know. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I see our theme is keeping our eyes fixed on Jesus. So that means in trying to mirror him as much as possible.
Yes.
And the type of men that we want to reach, if Jesus was presently here physically, they wouldn't run from that Jesus.
Right.
So
why didn't we go to the function last weekend
which function?
in Governor's Harbor?
Which function was that? Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. I think our producer went.
Because
I see him laughing.
The truth is, I believe that if Jesus was in our
he wouldn't want to go
day,
there.
I think he would have gone.
He would have gone there.
I think he would have gone, and I think by
there
the
would have been
time-
Pharisees
by
there too
time
on the
he-
outside.
Exactly. By the
Yeah.
time, because that's what he did. He
you got jokes, man.
He went to the home of the sinners.
Yes.
So to speak. That's what they were classed as. He
Yes,
went to-
yes.
And the question was asked, how does this man eat with publicans
Yeah,
and sinners and all that
Yes,
type
yes,
stuff?
yes.
But the truth is, I believe that if Jesus were in our day, that there are a lot of things that we kind of shy away from. And I pray, God give me the courage to be able to step out a little bit more and go beyond the normal expectations of our faith, because our faith right now is more, to me, and I could be wrong, it seems to be more about this image than it is about really sharing the love of God and exposing people to the love of God and inviting people to be a part of this thing that we have found such great joy in and such fulfillment in and all that. And the truth is, there are events like these that happen all the time. I'm not saying to go and play the fool, but I am saying, boy, we living in this world. We're to be in this world, but not of this world. And there are some things that we got to begin to understand, and there are some places that we got to go that was uncomfortable before. There are some people that we got to connect with. For example, the men that we want to be a part of this initiative.
Yeah, man, listen
Some
to
of
me.
them were to the function
Anywhere, yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
They were to the Anywhere last week.
Yeah.
But they probably won't know about this
That's true.
because we weren't there. There are people that send out
You
that
should have been promoting this then.
exactly.
I should have let the company sponsor that.
Exactly.
Sponsor
And
that.
and connect. Listen. What I'm trying to say is, and I don't want take over your show. What I'm trying to say is, we've got to connect with people beyond the walls of the church.
The building.
The building.
Uh-huh.
And,
All the walls.
and the universal church.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We got to realize that there are some people that we are to connect with in the secular world that right now do not know our Jesus in the way that we claim to know him.
That's so true.
And we need to begin to connect with these people. We got to begin to find ways to bridge the gap, so to speak, between the church, meaning the church universal, the people, the body of Christ, between the church and what we call the unsaved or the people of the world. I don't think they're people of the world. I think we're all God's sons and daughters. Mm-hmm. I just feel sometimes we get lazy. Sometimes we get busy. Sometimes we got so much stuff going on that we are not properly strategizing as to how to connect. But we gotta connect, and we can't just keep waiting on persons to come into our spaces in order for us to connect with them. We can't do that. That's not healthy. That's not a good way to go. Otherwise, it's gonna always be like, okay, who have we reached this year that we didn't reach last year?
Sure.
Who are we trying to reach in this year? There are big influencers out there in what we call the world. Why are we not extending beyond the borders of the four walls? This gospel is powerful. This is real.
You asked the question just now. You said, why are we not expanding or extending beyond the walls of the four walls? There is a set of, some of the rules are public and some of the rules are not public. That is causing us not to get, it's like a membrane that is not, is there. And it's based upon the fact that we believe that we can't really mix because we are church, quote unquote, the church, right?
We can't mix with who?
Okay, the people that we want, the people that we want to reach, we don't necessarily. It sound good, believe me, Pastor Camp.
It sound good.
Believe me, it sound good, believe me. But when the rubber really hits the road, listen to me. I've been in a meeting a few years ago, and I can bring this to remembrance. I was in a meeting. I didn't really know you like that then. I sat in the back.
Yes.
And you said, you remember, we believe, the church believes, that to resolve any issue is to have another church service.
Have another service, yes. Yes.
That is not the antidote. That is not the thing because that's based upon our own philosophy. That we believe that can solve all the problems. Yeah. How many times people come to your when you invite them to your church, they have their experience. They leave out of that church not getting the resolvement that they need and go home and have to face the unfixed stuff, the unanswered questions. Yeah. I know I was one of them.
Exactly.
Believe me, I was one of them.
And so that is why your conversation, a man's value, a man's value initiative is so important, because you cannot properly make a difference as it relates to people's lives if you're not willing to reach out and touch.
To touch them.
You got now what Jesus did was Jesus touched the lepers of his day. He touched them. He touched the blind of his day. He touched them. He touched the deaf of his day. We have lepers in our day. We have blind. We have deaf. We have Jesus touched the dumb. We have dumb.
The mutes. Yeah.
He did it.
Yeah.
We now, as men, need to begin to extend beyond this to reach other men, to reach men who need what it is that we're carrying. Listen, I shoot pool. I play board games. I play sports. The other day ago when they had the function at
the park.
At the park, I showed up. I played a little bit of basketball and all. I still can move around a little bit and that type of stuff. It's like, so at what point did the an hour and a half, 2 hours of a Sunday morning worship service become the highlight of our Christian journey?
Well, that's where it's placed, though.
At what point did that happen where that's the most important thing that the church does?
It's not.
Because the truth is, I I don't subscribe to that, but that seems
neither
to
do I.
be
Yeah.
the place that
Yeah.
the church has gone to,
Yeah.
where the time spent in the walls
Yeah. It's
is
the most important time you did.
important.
Yeah.
That's one day for an hour, hour and a half,
half,
2
maybe 2
hours,
hours.
3 hours.
What happened
for
to
some
the- what
people.
happened to the other-
What happens
what happened to the other
from
time,
the
man?
time we
Yeah.
leave up
Yeah.
until we
Yeah.
come back
Yeah.
again? What is the church engaged in during that time? And as a man, I'm trying to get the message out that we need to get back to it.
So let's do it.
We need to get back to it.
So let's do it. Let's do it.
We can start. I'm not saying that everybody will embrace what it is or that everybody will be excited to see you, but at least we owe it to to ourselves and to our God to make the effort to begin to put ourselves in some situations that may not make us look even like we really saved like that. But nonetheless, we need to find a way to reach the people.
I believe that the religious leaders of the day, back in the day, said the same things that they might say about you, or they might say about me when we begin to, or when any number of us begin to do what it is that we need to do to reach these persons. And I believe that persons, most men that believe that they have arrived are just now afraid to get their hands dirty. Maybe from the place that they once occupied. Sometimes there's a place that they once occupied, and they scorn the person because they're not sitting in a seat anymore.
Yeah.
I have seen that.
Some people got dirty for me. That's the thing that
Right.
I always remember.
That's a good thing.
I remember Pastor Clary saying
That's a good thing.
One
Yeah.
time she was making an altar call
Yeah.
in the church service, and she's Pastor Clarice. She said, "I'm going to leave the altar open for a while longer." She said, "Because somebody left the altar open for me."
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we remember what others have done for us, that's helped us to be where we are now. Like, there are some people who gave me opportunities when I myself knew I wasn't ready in my mind, didn't deserve it and all that type stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't finished playing around, wasn't finished doing my stuff.
You was in the middle of it.
There are people who believed in me
Yeah.
right in the middle of my mess and all that. And I really want to make a difference in the lives of some people that nobody believes in, or that very few people believe
like the
in.
underdogs. You're saying.
Yeah,
like the underdogs.
I want to get it out there, out there, and like, who would embrace the friendship, who would embrace the relationship, just do it, and not from a place of inviting them to church, to a church service, but from a place of wherever you meet me, you can encounter Jesus. I don't need you to be in my four walls,
Right.
for you to encounter the
Right.
Jesus.
If you
that's
show
in
up,
me.
that's fine. That's
Wherever I am,
Yeah.
Jesus is in
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
You'll experience the love of God.
Yeah.
You'll experience the compassion of God. You'll experience the tenderness of God. All of that type stuff, because
Okay.
it's in me. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Do we have any questions? Or
No, we don't have any questions. Thank you so much. So, thank you so much, Pastor Camp. So here we have it. We are at a 1 hour mark, and I thank God for the time that we shared together tonight. Like I'm saying, our tentative dates, the tentative date for the conference, for the men's conference, and probably by the end of next week, because probably by the end of the following week, because I'm supposed to be traveling on next week. But my team is trying to get flyers and things together, trying to make it as professional as possible. I smiled to myself today, Pastor Camp. I was in a telehandler today, and sometimes I listen to little things, especially around 2 o'clock in the day. I just get dry, and we can end right now, producer. And I notice a lot of stuff, a lot of like promotions going on. The guys come on and say, first thing they say, boom, let's see how we go. And they like come on. And I said, wonder if I could do that.
Wow.
To do something. Because we need to be able to get the attention first. If I talking to you and I don't have your attention, you had nothing what I say. Yeah. You had nothing what I say. So write the tentative dates down. I doubt it change, but I believe that we're geared. We have a tentative date, the 14th and the 15th of November of this year. Look for the flyers. We are all about helping men to be at our best. Before I go, I want to, because I'm supposed to do this at the beginning, I just want to read a man's value mission statement, Pastor Camp, and our vision statement. A man's value mission statement to provide men with a safe space for real conversation, spiritual growth, and empowerment, helping them discover, activate, and walk confidently in their true value and worth. Our vision statement for man's value is to see men restored, healed, and fully alive in their God-given identity, leading with integrity, influencing their families, and impacting their communities. Remember, man, I'll never forget this as we go into our last couple seconds. I've already got word that we are in our hour of time of closure, and to God be the glory. So I want you to continue to pray for man's value, and I will be in the upcoming weeks. I'll be reaching out to the churches and extending our arms out to the churches, to the men's ministry, or maybe to the pastors who serves as the supervisors of the men's presidents or whatever like that. Let's break down the walls and let's make this thing happen. Let's do this.
We also want to take some of those invitations to other places as well.
Yes.
So that men because a lot of men are not in our congregations.
Yes.
And so
there you go.
We would need to ensure that we also get the invitations.
Okay, we will do that. We will do that. We will do that as best as possible. My team, we're supposed to meet tonight after this, but anyway, to God be the glory.
Yeah.
Great things. BPL is not working with us tonight, so to God be the glory. Remember, man,